it's day 4 here in Corolla, North Carolina, in the Outer Banks, and we awoke this morning to no power. There's about 80 homes around us that were without power somewhere in the middle of the night. Shannon and Noah woke up around 3 o'clock and realized that the power was out because everything was getting hot. And I woke up around 4 o'clock for the same reason. And Claudine noticed that I was stirring and she woke up. And Noah had it reported to the electrical company before we even woke up. But we were without power for quite a while. Trucks were out restoring power around us. And around 7:30, power was restored. We got AC and the fans back on. And it's now about 7:45, so we're fixing breakfast finally. Not exactly what we planned for on the morning of day 4, but we're okay. Still tracking the tropical storm watch that's coming up the coast, Hurricane Idalia. It's going to make landfall in Florida, and the predicted path is to come up here along the coast and pass through below us on the Outer Banks. We probably will get some impact, winds, strong winds and rain, but we're watching that and praying that God will continue to keep us safe. As it is presently, we still have blue skies. We'll see how long that lasts. Since this was our last full day in the Outer Banks, we had to check off another activity request on our list while we still had the time. Brendan had wanted to find a go-kart place, and of course, Noah, Nick, and Brianna were happy to join him. So, off we went to Corolla Raceway, just a short drive north of where our vacation rental was, to see what fun we could find. I chose to let the kids battle this one out while I filmed from a high vantage point. I also gave Brendan a hat-mounted camera for the in-car perspective. I felt bad for Noah because the other 3 didn't wait for him to catch up and have a fair chance of racing with him. They all just took off before he got going. I'm going to guess they had a good time.
Hi.
What happened to you?
What do you mean what happened to me?
Well, you let Brendan pass you before you even got around.
That was me.
No, I was behind you at the start.
Oh, yeah, that part. Okay, so at the beginning...
I would have won if I had just
I didn't think it was fair that I got like a head start, so I stopped.
Oh, sure. The excuses start coming out.
And then Gus just went past me, and so I had to catch up.
We all left Noah behind because he wasn't even started yet.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Noah.
That's why I stopped. Because everybody wasn't
He was actually
started.
catching up on that.
Shortly after the post-race interview, we were visited by the resident track overseer, a beautiful Osprey that had landed back on its nest that was at the top of one of the light poles. After that, everyone wanted to go try out the unique bumper cars, which looked more like giant inner tubes on wheels. Later, when we returned to the vacation house, some of the crew decided to visit the beach again. While there, Jacob proceeded to search for and show some of the sand fleas. Apparently he doesn't yet know that Megan hates creepy crawlies. Or maybe he does know.
Sand fleas. Oh.
I guess you're supposed to wow. Just
But once again, we chose to close out our last evening by playing games. The game of choice for the evening was Quelf. If you're unfamiliar with this game, players advance by roll of the dice around the board toward the winning end space. However, as you advance, you land on different colored spaces, each corresponding to a matching deck of cards. The cards give the player either something to say or do in order to be able to stay on the space where they landed. If you don't obey the card, you get penalized and have to move backward however many spaces the card says. Most cards are just for the individual active player, but some cards state that they're for the whole table, and everyone from that point forward for one complete round of turns must say or do what that card states, along with whatever card they get on their turn. Needless to say, there was a lot of laughter that evening. For your viewing pleasure and a share of the laughter, here are just a few examples of what went on that evening. In this first clip, Jacob received a card that told him to challenge anyone at the table to fold a paper airplane and then see whether he or his challenger could throw theirs the furthest. He chose Megan, who unfortunately had already received her own card that stated she could only do things for the next round using only her thumbs and pinkies. Good luck, Megs.
hold it.
Come on.
Yeah, just make
it. Fold it in half. Half. In half.
No using any fingers except the thumb and the pinky.
That's right. Better not cheat.
We're watching her, Jacob. Don't you worry.
You have a pinky that's not being used. What are you doing? Use all the tools available to you.
Okay, now fold over a tiny half of it.
Now open it. Now fold the corner.
Use your fingers.
I'm not like that. Yes, against the crease.
Yeah.
Awesome job, Megan.
I'm trying. No, how hard it is. Jacob
No,
is a mean
they should
man.
both stand up and stare at Megan because he's further away.
Even Leia got in on the laughing. She was having a good time. One of Brendan's cards mandated that he play with one hand wrapped in tinfoil until he got another card that overturned it.
Wow.
Not my right hand. I think you're gonna need another layer. Oh wait, oh.
You look like Muhammad Ali now.
I got a card that instructed me to read a detailed question for Nick to answer, but I was to read it as though I were an animated and boisterous preacher.
We're ready for you. It's almost 11. The service is about to start.
If, having only one match on a freezing winter day, you entered a room which contained a lamp, a kerosene heater, and a wood-burning stove, which would you like first?
Hallelujah.
Amen. Pray.
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, he's trolling now.
If, having only one match on a freezing winter day, you entered a room which contained a lamp, a kerosene heater, and a wood-burning stove, which should you like first?
Kerosene heater.
Wrong! Sinner! You should light the match first! Jacob made the entire evening for us all when he got a combination of cards. First, he got a card saying he could no longer speak without asking his foot for permission first, and then by answering as his own foot in a high-pitched voice.
Yeah.
Permission to speak.
Permission granted. He still has to say the last thing at the end or else.
The question he had permission to read was to ask everyone, starting with himself, to name something in a hotel lobby that could fit in your left nostril.
Things typically found in a hotel lobby. That's what?
Lifesaver mints.
you trying to make me lose?
No,
Or
he
you
has to
want I
start.
can start, right? Cockroach.
He
Of course he would say that.
Okay, so Nick, what'd you say?
Of
Mince.
course he would say that.
Chocolate?
Pens.
They would fit in your left nostril.
Yeah.
But the final kicker of the night was that this was followed by a card for the whole table already in play, which was to end his turn by saying, "And all the brothers and sisters said amen," in a southern pastor's voice. We think he nailed it.
And all the brothers and sisters said amen.
Well, it's our last morning here in Corolla on the Outer Banks. We're getting ready to leave, and it looks like we're going to get a lot of wind and rain because of the hurricane that's coming up. It's now decreased to a tropical storm, but we don't think it'll affect us more than some wind and some rain, praying that nothing else happens.
Leaving in the middle of the tropical, what is it, storm now, or depression or something? It's actually not the middle either, it's the tail end. So we are somewhere in North Carolina. We just stopped for breakfast for some people that hadn't eaten before we left, and we are headed to Virginia and then the rest of the way home tomorrow. It's a little rainy. The storm was not bad at all really where we were, so a little windy this morning, and there was quite a bit of rain obviously overnight because some of the roads were flooded in spots, but not like flooded where you couldn't drive through. So we're on the way. We're out of the rain. We are almost to 64 where we cross Virginia to the west, finished going west. I'm a very nervous rider, I'm a nervous driver. The highways make me nervous, so I guess I feel better now that the rain is over, but it still makes me nervous. But Dale's a good driver. I just get nervous. Wouldn't matter who's driving. But we're almost there, close to Shaddy and Noah's.
Dinner and ice cream at Noah's parents' house. And some time spent around the fire brought a close to our 6th day of vacation, the first leg of our trip home. Well, hello again, friends. It's a little before 6 a.m. here in Newmarket, Virginia, on the morning of our last day of the 2023 family vacation. In a little while, when after everybody else gets up, we'll be meeting Shannon and Noah at Cracker Barrel for breakfast. And then after that, we'll be turning our cars towards New York, heading back north. It's been a good trip, and we are thankful that we had good weather. It was an answer to prayer. It did not look good before we came down, but we had great days every single day, except the last day as we were leaving when the tropical storm was passing through. But we made it back to the mainland safely, and we thank God for that. And for those of you who followed along with us and joined us on our trip, thanks for coming along. We hope you had fun and enjoyed what we shared with you. And that's about it for us from the Old House crew. Until we see you again, take care and God bless. Remember, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up down below. And if you aren't yet a member of our YouTube family, click that red subscribe button and click on the bell for notifications when we post new videos. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. If you have any questions or just want to leave us a comment and communicate with us, we'd appreciate it if you wrote some comments down below. We do our best to get back to each and every one of you who leave us a comment. Thanks again. Take care.